She's a sporting great. It's Gabby Logan. He's David's mate. It's Robert Webb. And their team captain, Lee Mack. And facing them tonight, he's the joker in the pack. It's Rob Brydon. He's a Channel 4 hack. It's Krishnan Gulamurthy. And their team captain, David Mitchell. But first, please try to convey a convincing impression of complete spontaneity in appreciation of your host, Angus Deaton.
Good evening and welcome to Would I Lie to You? A question to which the answer is, of course I would. This is the BBC. If you look up the definition of lie online, it says it's a type of deception in the form of an untruthful statement, which is pretty rich coming from Wikipedia. And estimates say that everyone lies on average twice a day, so I guess there must be a fair few people out there who aren't lying at all for Gordon Brown to be able to fit in all of his. Which brings us not a moment too soon to round one, the domestically titled Home Truths, in which our panellists take it in turns to read out a statement from a card in front of them. That card may contain a familiar truth or a scurrilous lie that we've made up on their behalf, and they're now reading for the first time, in which case they have about 2 nanoseconds to come up with a convincing story, so no pressure. Commiserations then to Gabby, who is first up.
Thank you, Angus. I have stolen sweets from Madonna's dressing room.
Right. Well, I think the key is the context there. Why were you in the Madonna complex, moving from room to room in search of sugar?
It was actually her dressing room at a concert venue.
Could you be specific, or were you taken there blindfolded?
It was at a venue in London where she was performing.
Could you be even more specific than the city?
The Brixton Academy.
Right.
Why were you around the backstage? Did you have it was the Brixton Academy?
Accidentally, I found myself in the VIP party that was apparently right next to Madonna's dressing room. So I was walking out and looked in and saw this dressing room and just wandered in because I was intrigued.
What were the sweets?
The sweets were, you know those long red licoricey things with sugar that are quite sour, actually, when you they get the back of your mouth.
I find this very hard to believe that the door wasn't manned by...
I'm disappointed that you don't find it hard to believe that I would steal.
No, I accept that straight away.
I can't imagine... I mean, even if she asked for sweets, I don't think she'd ask for that sort of red licoricey string.
David, your verdict. You're the team captain. You have to come to a decision here.
I think we're moving towards lie, aren't we?
Yeah.
Lie.
Yeah. Okay, you're saying it's firstly lie.
Liar.
Gabby, truth or lie?
It is indeed the truth.
It is true, Gabby did steal sweets from Madonna's dressing room. Seems only fair. Madonna helped herself to a child from Malawi. Rob, your home truth, if you would.
Right. I once simultaneously worked as both the DJ and the newsreader on local radio, using a different accent for each job.
I really hope this is true.
Indeed.
What were the 2 accents?
When I was a DJ, I used to... I was younger, so I had kind of a higher voice, and I used to kind of talk a little bit like that and say, thanks very much. The newsreader, I would talk a bit more like that.
So that's not the accent, that's just the tone.
That's the tone, yeah, the pitch.
Well, if you'd let me finish. I had a slightly Welsh tone to the newsreader, because I am Welsh, and I would sort of give it more of a sort of Anthony Hopkins, sort of, in other news coming in at the moment, there's been a horrific pile-up on the M4 motorway, ambulances are on their way there right now. I would just do it more slowly, give it a slight more Welsh lilt.
Did you ever have any banter between yourselves?
No, I never did, no.
What was the station again?
BBC Radio Wales.
Was this a time of great cutbacks at BBC Radio Wales? Why couldn't they
It's always a time
afford...
of great cutbacks at Radio Wales.
They couldn't afford a newsreader. Are they very expensive, Krishnan? Newsreaders? I mean...
I love the idea of Krishnan doing that on television as well, just getting a wig on and running over to the weather.
The first time it happened was sort of accident. It was when the newsreader didn't come in. It was a very early show. It was the 6:30 in the morning to 7:30. And the newsreader, one time, when there was snow, didn't come. And they said, will you read the news? And I did it for a laugh, did it in a different voice after the jingle, which is not what they were saying, and then just kind of stuck with it.
Did you read the sport?
No, there was a sports guy called David Cartwright.
Interesting they didn't give him the news job.
we've already established, Gabby, that you are little better than a thief. So, for you to sit there taking the moral high ground when I stepped in to save a colleague who'd got stuck and couldn't make it in, frankly, is a bit rich. And I expect more support from a team captain than I'm getting at the moment. I'm getting nothing from this fellow who's sitting here reading my thoughts going, I wonder what he's thinking right now, I can't. Where are you, big fella? Because frankly, David, now would be a good time to join in.
I know it's harder and harder to get impressions on the television, but this isn't the place. I'm totally behind you. I would just like to publicly say how plausible I think everything you said is. It's exactly what I'd have done in your position. You know.
So, Lee, you're going to have to come to a decision of some sort.
I thought that was an assured performance, and I wish it were true, but I don't think it's true because that would be silly.
Yes. What do you think, Gabby?
I think it's a lie.
Robert, you
I think it's a lie.
OK, we think that's a lie.
They're
saying a lie.
They are saying it's a lie, so
fact,
the truth, please.
It's a lie.
It is a lie, well done. Well deduced. It is a lie. Rob did not simultaneously work as the DJ and the newsreader on local radio. To be a local radio DJ, you have to have enthusiasm, poise, and the belief in your heart of hearts that Slough actually matters. Next up, it's Robert's turn to astonish us.
My nickname at school was Mr. Custard.
David, your initial response.
Why were you called Mr. Custard?
Can I just check? You two didn't go to school together, did you?
No, it's not quite that
carry on.
sick. But it happened because of this. Because I was very sick once on some custard because I was at school.
On some custard?
On some custard. Right. Well, the custard made me sick, but there was some custard left, so I suppose, yes, David, I was sick on some custard.
You were sick custard on custard?
Yes, exactly.
Right.
Custard
he sees custard, he sicks custard on it. That was the thing.
That was the
Mr.
system.
Custard.
That was
He'll
the system.
Custardise any custard. How old were you?
I was 9-ish.
Oh.
Yeah.
Right. How long did it stick?
How long did it stick?
Yes, the nickname.
It was relatively easy.
Every person in this room thought you meant the custard. Everybody.
For a couple of years, and then I changed school, luckily. So, and then I cleverly didn't tell the new people.
I sort of feel that people say children can be very cruel. Mm. And actually, wouldn't they focus more on the whole pukey, vomity element rather than the custom call you Mr. Sick or Mr. Puke, Mr.
But if he was as charming at school as he is now, then I think they would focus on the custard. That's why I'm now coming around to believing his story.
I'm both moved and delighted.
I'm kind of with you on that it's not quite cruel enough as a nickname.
So therefore, you're thinking...
therefore, I'm thinking lie.
I would go with that.
I'll go with the consensus and say lie.
OK, team captain is saying it's a lie, so, Robert, time to confess.
It's a lie.
It is a lie, well done.
Very close, very close.
And so we descend lead balloon-like into round 2, the Ring of Truth, where I read out some extraordinary celebrity facts, and the panellists' mission, should they choose to accept it, is to establish the truth or otherwise of that fact. Lee's team have these words of wisdom to enjoy.
Some games magnificent, some other not so good, and you know, omelets, eggs.
You haven't got any eggs at the moment.
No eggs, no omelets. And depends of the quality of the eggs. In the supermarket you have eggs class 1, class 2, class 3. And some are more expensive than others, and some give you better omelets. So when the class 1 eggs, you know, are in Waitrose and you cannot go there, you have a problem.
I like it that, you know, he's launched fearlessly into this extended egg metaphor in a second language. And he's a football manager, not the most chatty